Hi everyone, as of today I am officially 1 week on testosterone. Each morning I wake up a little bit earlier, I have a shower, I apply 1 packet of testo gel on my upper body, then I stretch for about 10 minutes, making sure that it dries, and then I get on with my day. And it's become a really positive way to start each day and I'm really enjoying it so far. But I thought that I would go through some of the changes that I've experienced and some of the changes I haven't experienced whilst being on testosterone just for this week. So I have my laptop next to me to refer to some notes so I don't forget anything. In terms of actual physical changes, the only definite change has been the big BG. If you know, you know. And I noticed that on day 3. I felt the sensation of it happening, and it hasn't been significant, it hasn't been particularly noticeable, but I definitely noticed it day 3 and have noticed it since then. There are some other potential physical changes that have happened, but I'm not entirely sure if they've happened, and if they have, I'm not sure if I can credit that straight to testosterone. The first change that I have in mind is my face seems to have gotten wider. Again, I'm only a week on testosterone, I know that it's unlikely to happen. However, I feel like my facial dysphoria has been alleviated significantly because my face looks more masculine already. Again, it could be just like a placebo thing, I'm just interpreting my reflection differently, but it's been really good for me in that way. Similarly, I feel like my hair has actually changed texture. It used to be extremely flat. Now I find when I run my hands through it, it sticks up a little bit more. And I haven't changed anything about my hair care routine. I still use the same shampoo and the same frequency of washing. It just seems to react differently to when I touch it. Today is not the best example. It's a little bit flatter today than it has been recently, but you get what I mean. Also, in terms of my facial dysphoria, I don't feel the need to get a haircut. I used to need to get a haircut at least once a month to alleviate my dysphoria, but right now it's really overgrown and I don't mind, and that's a really good sign for me. Another thing that I've noticed is that my voice has been a tad bit deeper. However, I've been a tad bit sick, so I'm not ready to fully give that to testosterone yet. One other change that I've noticed is that I have been having hot flushes a lot, but again, I'm going to give that to the sickness instead of the testosterone for now, but it's something to keep an eye on for sure. There were various things that I thought would change that haven't changed yet. I was told that these things would be some of the first changes, but I haven't seen any of them. This includes my strength and energy levels, my appetite, my weight, and my smell. So, when I went to the gym recently, well, I've always been active in the gym, and this week is no different. However, I've found that I'm still using the same weights and they're still just as heavy as they were before. I'm not significantly stronger than I was, and I don't have a significant energy spike at all. It could be, again, because I'm on the gel, my levels aren't spiking and therefore my energy levels aren't spiking. But yeah, I thought they would, to be honest. I thought I would be more energetic than I am. Another thing with that is my appetite. I thought that I would be a lot hungrier than I was before, and I haven't found that whatsoever. With the appetite comes weight gain. Because I haven't been eating more, I haven't been gaining any weight. I also thought that I would smell different, however, I haven't noticed that. Actually, I did notice that I've been a little bit sweatier when I'm in the gym. So, I don't know, I guess that could be the testosterone. The other change that I thought would happen that didn't occur is that I thought I would have pure, untainted happiness, and I don't. To be honest, the first few days I felt really anxious, and I'll get into that in a second. There were some mental, emotional and spiritual changes that occurred as well, and I think it's important to talk about them as well as the physical changes. So the first thing is that I experienced a roller coaster of emotions. I had pretty high anxiety for the first few days. However, I realised that my anxiety wasn't around whether or not I was making the correct decision. It was around the fact that I knew I was making the correct decision. And transitioning in the world that we live in today is a scary thing. And it's something that I know I need to do and I'm doing, and that's scary. But ultimately, I feel confident in my choice and I do feel happy that I am making these changes for me, but it does come with a little bit of nervousness. The other big mindset change that I've had is realizing that not all the decisions around my transition have to come from a place of dysphoria. I've realized that the decisions that I make around my transition can also come from a place of euphoria. For example, I used to think I wouldn't change my name because my name was something that didn't give me a lot of dysphoria. I didn't feel very uncomfortable every time I heard it. However, I've realized that if I was called by a different name, I could feel euphoria. And that is just as valid of a means to make that decision. I haven't told anybody this, but I've decided to go by the name Nathaniel. Nathaniel Hamish Reed. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I think I'll just go by Nate, of course. This change is also one that I feel a little bit anxious about because in asking to go by a different name, I'm asking people to acknowledge that I am transgender every time that they talk to me. And I'm not very good at that kind of confrontation or assertiveness. However, I feel like it's necessary for me to feel happier. And the people who support me, the people who love me, will do that for me, I'm sure. I think that taking testosterone has allowed me... I think that taking testosterone will take a lot of the physical discomfort away, and so I no longer need to focus on moving away from discomfort, but rather moving towards comfort. And that has been a really... it's blown my mind, to be honest. I never thought of transition like that. And so it's definitely put a more positive twist on my transition journey, and I'm very excited about that. So for me, the key takeaways from this week is that everybody's timeline is different, and that's okay. It's okay to feel anxious. That doesn't invalidate anything. Trans is beautiful, even if transitioning seems scary. And the last thing is to remember that transitioning can come from a positive place, not just a negative one. Alright, thank you guys for listening to my first week update. I'll see you all next week. Bye!